I'm racing for a championship, and fair enough, he can go out and pass clean. He doesn't need to do that. I'm pretty pissed about the situation. But what goes around comes around. I'll give it back to him.
What happened, and he didn't put in the best performance today, and I did one race, but not the other one. So I just got to be a little bit more consistent and just chipping away. But now we're a little bit closer.
I'm out here racing, I'm winning, so they have to be worried about me.
Welcome to Delmont, Pennsylvania, Steel City Raceway. This is round 11 of the AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championship. And hello once again, everybody. Todd Harris along with the champ David Bailey and Robbie Floyd filling in for Cameron Steele once again as we welcome you to Steel City Raceway on the 11th round, and the drama is building, David, as we take a look at the weather, which has greeted the riders this week. They kept everyone off the track yesterday because of the rain that has been coming down in this area today, though temperature 83 degrees, 75% humidity, and as always in this area, a chance of showers. Your thought as we come down to the final two guys getting ready for today's battle?
Well, when you're a factory rider, you get to stand over there and get hosed off. That's kind of cool, but I'll tell you what, it was muddy in practice. It's going to dry out. Ryan Hughes actually had the fastest time after practice, even faster than Stewart, a guy that he doesn't even considers even in his class anymore. He's taking the class by himself, but Larry Brooks there, making sure he feels comfortable for the motos coming up. It's between Grant and Ryan Hughes, so Larry Brooks is a happy camper in one sense and not another because there's a little bit of tension over there.
Regardless of what happens, KTM is the big winner, but for both sides of the stories, let's talk to the two competitors in the pits.
Like you say, it's 4 motos. It's in the next 9 days is when it's all going to happen. So, in a way, I'm excited but nervous. I just wish this would be over. Every day feels like a long day, though. Because you just keep thinking about what's going to happen at Troy. So, I'm excited for it. And, the way I look at it is that what happens is what happens. In 2001, it was out of my control what happened with the wheel breaking. One of those things. All I can do is give my best shot and see what happens.
Even if I had something hurt or broken, I'm still going to give it 100%. No, I feel good. Ankle's good. Legs good. Yeah, I feel 100%. Yeah, there's 4 races left. It's between 3 of us, and if I don't win, I don't want Grant to win, but I want KTM to win. I want to see them win. So if I don't win, I'd like to see Grant win. But I don't want to see that.
Well, that was clear. Clear as mud. You lost me on that one. It's obvious that Grant aren't getting along now. I told you there was tension over there.
Meanwhile, over the Kawasaki pit, the original 259 is in the house. I'll let James Stewart make the introduction.
Word up. We're here at Steel City. We're out here representing. I got my longtime friend Tony Haynes here. If you guys know, that's where I got my number 259. I had to bring it here to show him what I got. I got to represent today. What's up, Tony? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just came to see a good race.
Yeah, and I'm going to definitely have to put it on. Everybody, it's definitely going to be a good race. You guys need to tune in and check this out. What do we got to say for the camera, Tony?
Well, I'd just like to say I hope y'all enjoy the race that you're about to see, and you got to win for me, dog.
Word up. That's pressure right there. Word up.
Later.
Our thanks to James and Tony for doing such a great job on that music. We've used that a few times. It's a fine tune when someone writes an anthem. Number 259 is in the house, and I have no doubt, David, that he is going to be on fire. But Grant Langston, look at the nerves. He is just working it.
Yeah, you know, people deal with it different. I used to kind of cut up a little bit. Travis Pastrana would make jokes and just always be crazy, and all it's doing is just masking what you're really feeling inside. These guys are showing it. Rhino looks concerned. Grant looks like he's in agony. You wake up in the morning thinking about this championship coming down to the wire. You go to bed thinking about it. It wears on you.
All-time winners here at Steel City. Robbie Reynard leads the list in front of Wyndham and Carmichael with 3. Very impressive performance when he comes to Pennsylvania. For more on that, let's check in with Robbie Floyd.
Since coming back from injury, James Stewart has gained leaps and bounds in this 125 points battle. But he's not the only Kawasaki to figure into it. The guy behind me, number 17, Robbie Raynard, he's the winningest rider in Steel City in the 125 class with 3 wins. And Kawasaki figures if they can put one more Cowie in between James Stewart and those 2 KTMs, that's more points for Bubba.
All right, thank you, Robbie. What do you think, David? Can Raynard factor into this thing?
Well, it all sounds good on paper, but I just don't see it happening. His best finish so far I can remember is a 6th. That was at Millville. It was best track, and this is obviously a good track for him as well, but I don't know. From the far outside out there, he's going to have to hope for Langston and Hughes to ride really nervous.
As we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid here for the 125 Moto number 1, we know James Stewart will be fast. Keep your eyes on number 111 and number 105, Grant Langston and Ryan Hughes, as the championship battle begins here at Steel City. Moto 1 is off and running.
See Raynard way on the outside, nowhere to go out there.
Craig Anderson, number 109 on board the Yamaha. He's had flashes of brilliance this year on the 125 circuit. He goes to the front of the pack, and he's got the KTMs in tow.
Wrong KTMs though. That's not doesn't look like Langston or Rhino.
Craig Anderson though, that 250 is just hooking up. He is flying through here.
He's one of those guys that doesn't look all that fast, but he's already pulling a lead, you know, so he's doing something right.
Craig Anderson leads them into the green flag lap. Behind him, it's number 108. That's Joaquin Rodriguez. And then 259, James Bubba Stewart, a slight bobble right there, but he's going to pick up second as they go to the inside.
Oh, that outside around the corner at the top puts you to the inside at the bottom. James knew that. Really had nowhere else to go anyway, but it worked out in his favor. Now starting to close that gap just a little bit on Anderson. He was checking out in the first half of the lap, but as soon as Stewart got in the clear in the second, that all changed. Gosler with a pretty good start.
Ryan Hughes all the way back into 6th. Remember, he's in 2nd place overall in the point standings, looking to pass your overall leader, Grant Langston. Meanwhile, number 259 putting on a show, trying to reel in the Australian, Craig Anderson, on board the Yamaha, who sits in 1st place.
You know, this may sound crazy a bit, but I'll bet you Stewart has on his mind, if I can get Anderson before we get back around to the start-finish line, I'll be credited for leading this lap. That kind of stuff, it wouldn't surprise me if it's on his mind. It's going, okay, that's a stat he doesn't want to miss out on, being able to lead every lap and dominate like he has been.
Domination has not been a problem for number 259, James Bubba Stewart. Look at him throw the bike around. He goes to the outside of Anderson. Anderson takes a look over, closes the door. Stewart can't get it done on this time, but look at that.
Look how hard Stewart tries. And when you put these guys side by side like that, he hit that berm so hard, the berm is going to feel that tomorrow. You know, if he just look at the difference in intensity, how bad he wants it. He will get credited for leading this lap.
So James Bubba Stewart goes to the front. Craig Anderson now sits in 2nd. The battle for the championship is on. Grant Langston and Ryan Hughes both in the mix. Langston, your overall leader. Hughes sits in 2nd as we speak on the point standing.
Rhino getting a little sideways right there. Those off cameras are so tricky. And in this first lap, even though they took that slow lap and looked at everything, they're still getting comfortable with the pace. Look at Stewart, just throwing the bike around wherever he's got to go to stay low and to keep that throttle pinned is what he's going to do. And he hits his berm so hard. I didn't think he was going to be able to get in there. Anderson could have just made that a little tougher for him to squeak into that berm, but he barely got in there as it was, and now he's off and he's gone. No, I don't think Anderson, if he had something for him, that would have been it, and he didn't show it.
High risk, high reward. James Bubba Stewart, that is his game plan. He is out in front right now. Meanwhile, number 111, Grant Langston, trying to make his way to the pack, get up there. Points are so valuable right now, David. We talked about the anguish that he's going through. He wants to get this race. It's got to be the best thing for Grant Langston to be out on the track.
Yeah, he's feeling it now. He just put a pass right there on Branden. A little bit of a kind of a risky move, jumping way down to the inside, right to the edge of the racetrack like that. He's up into the top 15 now, and you're right. I mean, when you're sitting around the pits and you're at home, you think about it, the nerves, they take over. And as soon as you get on the racetrack, your instinct and second nature takes over, and your nerves kind of move to the back. And right now, all he's thinking about is picking off all these riders.
Grant Langston, number 111, on board the KTM ride, picks up yet another spot. He is the overall points leader in the 125 class, but a slim lead it is over fellow KTM rider Ryan Hughes. We heard Hughes at the top of the show. He wants his title. No running orders from him for KTM. Go out and win. James Stewart, the leader, back in a moment. The AMA U.S. Motocross Championships are brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. By Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. Welcome back to round 11, Delmont, Pennsylvania's Steel City Raceway, the Scott USA National. Todd Harris along with the champ David Bailey and Robbie Floyd. We're in the midst of Moto 1, the 125 5-year leader, James Bubba Stewart. Craig Anderson sits in second, and Ryan Hughes is in third.
Gosler getting a little cross-ready coming into that corner. He's chasing after Brock Hepler. He's just behind this pack. Brock Hepler riding his first national back at Millville. Been pretty consistent, just outside the top 10. There he is in blue, coming our way over the big plateaus. So putting together a pretty solid moto here. This is a track that he's pretty familiar with. Raced here plenty of times. Still ahead of Grant Langston, who's now moved all the way up to 11th. And early in the race, Ryan Hughes is actually leading the point standings as Grant picks off his riders. He's worked it back into pretty much a tie and reclaimed that points lead. But this is 3 motos in a row. The first moto, that is, of the last 3 rounds, and Grant has had a terrible start or a crash and had to come from behind. And yeah, he has really had his work cut out here, but he's coming up big each time.
Here you see the graphic for the fastest lap. James Stewart, 2 or 3 seconds faster than his nearest competitor, which right now is Ryan Hughes, and Bubba is just on a tear. Right now, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Robbie Floyd.
Byrne looking good out there. What are you trying to tell him? You're saying be consistent. He charged up, but he really hadn't made any time the last lap.
Yeah, it's hard right now because the track's pretty slick and there's one good line. So I just wanted to be smart and be there at the end because he capitalized on a mistake at the end.
So that's the thinking in the Michael Byrne camp as we take a look at Ryan Hughes on board his KTM. He currently sits in third place. For more on him, let's send it back down to Robbie. Robbie, what do you got?
All right, Rhino keeps pointing down up front. What do you think's going on?
I don't know. It looks like there could be a problem, a possible problem with the throttle or the front brake. I don't know.
When he comes here in the pit area, is he actually grabbing the brake or not?
He's using the front brake, and the bike seems to be revving out, so the throttle's working all the way. So at the moment, I honestly don't know.
That's a tough one for the mechanics when the rider comes by, and you can tell something's up, but you know, he still looks pretty good out there. I'll tell you what, Rhino he should be going a little bit faster than he's been going. He should be able to pull away from Byrne, and I don't know, something's definitely bothering him, but it's hard to tell what it is.
Well, Troy Adams certainly has problems with Yoshimura Moto Triple X ride, trying to get that thing kicked over again. Tough to do in the ruts, tough to do where he is right now. That's a difficult position to be in, right in the middle of that corner.
Well, he comes in wide, loses balance a little bit, puts his foot down, and once his foot got stuck back to the back, I thought he was going to wash out all... You know, that's one of those ones you got to laugh at a little bit. I mean, he's okay, but Langston was actually caught up in that. He lost a few positions. Just as he had worked so hard to pass a few riders, he lost a few positions. These guys, you can see how much they're racing for that one line. Langston trying so hard to make time up. Now he's got to pass all these same guys back again, and championship's on the line here.
Well, he gets an easy pass there by teammate Joaquin Rodriguez. Rodriguez understanding what's on the line. Meanwhile, Robbie Reynard, who Robbie Floyd talked about at the top of the show, does not look like he's going to factor into the James Stewart situation.
That's too bad. There's another look at the contact. Rodriguez getting, I don't know, shoved around a little bit by Short, who felt like he had the better line, and then Langston's like, okay, I don't need my own teammate to make things hard on me, and as soon as Rodriguez realized that's who it was, I think he let him have it. Right there, it's Richie Owens coming through on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki, still ahead of this group, getting his first kind of factory ride. Mitch Payton didn't have a rider for the bike this week, decided to take Richie Owens, who's done well as a pro sport rider. I first saw him at Mammoth last year. He was riding a KX 500, pulled a couple hole shots, and ran with everybody up front. Been noticing him ever since. He got a real break today, and he's doing something with it.
This is Moto number 1, the 125 class from the Steel City Raceway in Delmont, Pennsylvania. As you look at Brock Hepler, who's moved all the way up to 5th place. And for this youngster, this is one of his best runs we've seen all year.
This is great. It's a good track for him. Look at that's the roll-off coming off the goggles of Andrew Short. And he's not really affected by all that stuff dragging behind him, but I guarantee you Grant Langston is. He's like, should I run over that? Should I get it caught in my front wheel? What the heck? Get out of the way. This definitely messed up your concentration and you're messing up that plateau. Look what's happening to Grant now as a result of all this.
Grant Langston coming through now, trying to get past the ticker tape parade drape from Andrew Short, number 41, gets around him, and Short's trying to figure out what's going on as well. Rodriguez gets by him, and he's pulling to the inside.
Yeah, he hurt his leg when he messed up that plateau back there. I think his foot got ripped off the peg in one of those ruts on the approach. Yeah, right there. See his left foot just got torn right off the peg, and that hurts. You know, it hurts right away, then it just kind of goes numb for a second. By the time he made that corner, I guarantee that pain was setting in, and then he just exited the track.
Well, Andrew Short grabbing at that leg as he came across there. David Goodeyes, he just had enough. He will pull off the track. Our running order, James Bubba Stewart leads, followed by Anderson, Hughes, and Byrne.
Love to see you smile.
Welcome back to Steel City, the Scott USA Nationals. Todd Harris along with the champ David Bailey and Robbie Floyd, your leader in Moto number 1 of the 125 class. As usual, number 259, James Bubba Stewart on a tear.
What's up? This is Bubba in the Hizzle for Shizzle, and you about to see my crib Rizzle. What's up? Here's my crib. This is a couple of my trophies I got from winning Supercross races last year, a couple outdoors. You know, it was my first ever win was the Qualcomm Stadium, San Diego, first ever. That means a lot to me. Number 1 plate looks very nice on me. Another couple more trophies. Pretty much basically, that's it, you know. Had a great season last year and it was very fun. I guess, you know, like, it's funny because I'm not fat, you know, and I do live in the country, but still, I don't know where that came from. I seriously don't understand where it came from. And, you know, it's cool. That's what most people call me. And most people don't even know my real name. And it's James Stewart.
James Stewart? James Stewart. James Stewart.
People call me Jimmy, you know, Mike. I don't know. Just don't call me late for dinner, because I'm never late for dinner. I'm always hungry. All right, well, this is my living room area. This is where I come chill out at, you know, watch TV. As you can tell, it's on ESPN2 right now. That's all I watch is Sports Center. This little country style look, that's my mom's situation. Not really into that stuff. Here in the game room, we got the pool table, we got the air hockey, you know, come over, we got the TV, you can watch around, a couple stools and stuff. These are all my amateur trophy, all my number 1 plates from the amateur stuff. It's pretty cool. And this trophy is very unique, you know. Got this from winning Binghamton's championship trophy, and it's a pretty cool trophy. My dad, he works on a farm, you know. Out here, he takes care of the cattle, and basically like anything, he goes and sells cows every once in a while, and you know, that's basically what he does. And my mom's the person who takes care of all the financial stuff and all the, you know, just organized, keeping the family together. And I race, and my brother just gets on my nerves all the time, but I still love him. What's up, guys? This is my foosball table right here. If anybody want to challenge me, you bring it on. Bubba be here 7 days a week, 24/7. This is where we come out and barbecue at. This is where we have like a little family events and stuff at. We got a little Jamaican bomb. I don't know what that thing is. It's annoying. On hot summer days, after 3 45-minute motos, come out here and hop in the pool and stuff. You know, it gets pretty hot down here in Florida, and this thing saves my life every once in a while. Got the evil part, right? That man's evil for even thinking about jumping half the things he jumped. I would never jump the Grand Canyon. Come on. He's different. I tell you much, I have hard times jumping triples or, you know, 100-foot jumps. It's crazy. I'm good. I want to win championships. I don't feel like jumping the Grand Canyon, so I'm gonna win championships. Those guys can jump all they want, and we can meet up when we both retire. This is the race shop here, practice shop, whatever you want to call it. It's where my mechanic Scott works on all the bikes out here. He's my mechanic for here at the house. Here's my motorhome. This is what I'm gonna be bringing to the races. I got a riding style now. It's my other shop over here where I keep all my motorcycles. I got my buddy Barry Larkin and Ken Griffey, baseball stars, you know, professional Cincinnati Reds, and those motorcycles. But any motorcycles that's in here are green, that's mine. I want to definitely lead a sport, like knowing that I was like something, you know. I think even if I left it now, people would still like recognize me. So I like to be known as, you know, the 250, the most winningest 250 rider. Actually, no, I want to be known as the greatest motorcycle rider, you know, there ever is. This is my little 50 track right here. 50 track, if you look out there, we got the outdoor track, and then you look in the middle, we got a supercross track. That's where I do all my practice in that. No. Hey, you need to clean your shoes because they're a little dirty for me. Late.
That's it. It's over. Check, please.
29 moto victories. David looking for number 30 as we enter the final lap.
Oh, he's a character. Definitely entertaining. He's entertaining on the racetrack, and you know, he's 17 and pretty successful. He comes across being a little cocky and a little different, you know, and he's hanging around the house. But you know, he's interesting and he's good, and he backs everything up, and he's a lot more entertaining than maybe going and hanging out with Ezra for the day. You know, Ezra's a great rider, but he just doesn't bring all the other excitement that James brings to this stuff. That's why everyone loves him so much.
And James brings home yet another victory as he picks up the win here in Moto number 1. This is the battle for third place. Ryan Hughes getting a little squirrely as he comes through there. Will he finish off strong?
It looked like he about went over the handlebars off that plateau. Something has been a little off with him this whole moto. He better hold off Byrne here. 2 more points.
So Rhino comes through, Byrne right behind him, number 32. Byrne gets a good run out of that corner. Ryan on the gas. Byrne trying to pick up the 2 more points.
That's a tough position to be in when you're challenging somebody and you know they're going after the championship. Hughes is able to hang on. Lets the bike die.
Yeah, he's not happy about that performance, I think. It's something where he thought he could maybe move up a little more, but they'll check it out and find out what's going on, and he'll be back for moto number 2.
Yeah, he's mad.
Meanwhile, here comes Grant Langston as he comes through. Now, points become a huge factor for him. He was your overall points leader at the start of this race, and we'll have to do some quick tabulations for you as he picks up another spot, getting around Kelly Smith.
These are important. Getting around Kelly, he's got 1 more. It's kind of one line on the way to the finish line. So I don't know if he can get Owens or not.
Grant Langston, number 111, on board the KTM. Richie Owens right in front of him. And Grant looks like he's going to go for it. He goes to the outside line, all gas on that KTM. And it looks like he's going to get the job done. So good for Grant Langston, picking up 2 spots on that final lap.
Oh, Owens shrugging his shoulders like, what was I thinking? He was wheeling up the hill, and he gave a spot up to Grant Langston, another point closer to the title.
And we welcome you back to round number 11 of the AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championship, the Scott USA National. As Grant Langston makes his way into the pits, Todd Harris, the champ David Bailey, and Robbie Floyd welcome you back to Delmont, Pennsylvania. And looks like comparing notes, and after talking about the throttle, because James always has the throttle pin, if you take a look at the Honda official results, it's Stewart, Anderson, and Hughes. Michael Byrne and Ryan Mills ran out the top 5. Grant Langston did a great job getting all the way up into 8th place and salvaging some points, and better yet, maintaining his lead in the overall chase. Right now, let's send it down to Robbie Floyd with our winner.
Congratulations, James. You got a good start out there, bud, and already pulled away very quick, like 11 seconds in 2 laps.
Yeah, you know, Kawasaki got me out to a great start, and I almost washed the front end in our first corner, but, you know, pulled through it, and came out fourth. I got around one guy right in the sweeper thing. I kind of, picked my way out. Anderson's a great rider. I knew he can ride good for a little bit, and then, came out strong. Got a good lead, and just checked out from there.
Rhino finished a couple of positions behind you. Grant even farther back. You're gaining more and more points. How does it feel?
It feels good. I need Rhino to do a little bit worse, but I'm glad. I think he's the points leader right now. So if I don't win it, I want him to win it definitely. So he's doing a great job out there, and the old man can't ride again.
Congratulations, James.
Thanks.
Rhino, you came out of the track very angry. What happened earlier on? Everybody thought it was the brake.
No, the throttle was sticking, and I had a whole bunch of play in the beginning, and. As I was trying to roll it on, and there was nothing, and then it would go, and I have to roll it off, roll it on, it was sticking, and then I was kind of scared that the thing was going to break. I didn't want to break off a jump or lose points, so I was kind of being careful, and then put my head down a little bit to try to catch up, and I just didn't feel good out there with a sticking throttle, but it's racing, and I'll come back next race and hopefully get second place.
Even with the mechanical problems out there, only a few points behind Grant going into this second moto. You have to be happy with that. You're gaining points.
Yeah, I wish I could have got second, but, I guess we're just making points on the lead, so it's okay.
Well, Ando, congratulations. The first podium since Southwick out there. You have to be loving it.
Yeah, no, it is good, it got a good start, and last weekend wasn't really the best weekend. I didn't get good starts. I crashed in the first turn in the second race, so, I struggled a lot coming from behind, and but this weekend's a different story. I tried hard all week, and I tried a few different things through the week and to change it for here, and I feel good.
Titles were also on the line for the Women's Motocross League in the Altex Computers Motocross in Delmont, Pennsylvania. Stephane Lair, always a story, but David, got a little competition this week.
Yeah, well, it was early leader Jessica Patterson on the Kawasaki, and then Whitmore blasted around her on the outside. But check out this timing section up here. Jessica not giving up, takes the lead over again, but then they both got swooped by Stephane Lair, who's been perfect on the season, and that did not end here. She dominated again.
Stephane Lair, absolutely perfect, pulling off of Ricky Carmichael from last year, winning every single moto. As we look at the final results, it's Lair, Whitmore, Patterson, Davis, and Gebhardt rounding out your top 5 of the WML. Our congratulations to all the ladies as we look at the point standings. Lair with a 51-point lead. Let's check in with Robbie Floyd.
Well, the Women's Motocross League has 6 events, 12 motos, and Stephane Lair, you won every single one of them. Congratulations. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels very great. And I had a great season here at the WML, and I won all the motos, and I'm the champion.
Yes, you are. Congratulations, Stephane Lair.
All right, thank you, Robbie. Congratulations to Stephanie. Before we go to moto number 2, it's time for this week's edition of the Racer X Pit Pass.
Welcome to Steel City! Go Team USA!
Moto number 2 is straight ahead, plus it's time for the Sorby Suzuki Fast Lap when we return. Welcome back to the Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championship. This is round 11 from Delmont, Pennsylvania. Steel City Raceway. Todd Harris along with the champ, David Bailey. Right now, let's send it down to Robbie Floyd.
Guys, before we get started with our second moto of the 125cc's, yesterday, Andrew Short showed us the quick way around Steel City on our Sorby Suzuki Fast Lap.
Well, I appreciate Andrew getting out there and taking us around this racetrack. Now, of course, practice was all canceled on Saturday, so usually the riders get a lot of practice on the track, and it's already kind of worn in. Well, these guys didn't get as much, so it took a little longer for everyone to get their suspension and gearing everything dialed in for today's action. Just a look at the sections pretty much right off the start, dirt start again. This is the double section as you head up the first big hill and start winding up and down the valley. There's not really anything else you can do here other than just double. This corner gets pretty tricky though. Have a lot of deep ruts through there as the racing begins. And then down this next hill, plenty more ruts as you get into the bottom. A little tricky, as cameras say, to pick your line. And obviously it's difficult. One rider already going down. The rider to our right already went way off to the side. We passed him important to get a good run out of that corner because it goes up the hill into this double section. If you don't have the speed, you can't jump the first two. You kind of ruin to jump any of the other ones, as what just happened to Andrew right there. It's a little muddy, and he didn't get the run he needed to jump all that stuff. This is a very tough off-camber corner that leads you up into this long left sweeper section into probably one of the most fun double jumps in the whole racetrack. We've seen Stewart and Carmichael and Travis Pastrana and guys over the years really throwing it out there for the fans. Nice big rut through that next tight left. Takes you down into one of the faster sections. It's fast, but it's still a little sketchy because you're weaving in and out of ruts. Then you get into some tight stuff. Dozer preps the approach to this plateau section. There's two ways to enter. You can jump onto the top of that one, slow down, and then jump the rest of them, or you can slow down and just use them all as plateaus, landing on the backside. But it takes great time to get through there fast, and you get this awkward, slick corner. Then you head back the other way over more plateaus. If you get a great run out of the corner, you can clear this one all the way. Otherwise, you land right there where Andrew just did. Then over this double. Then you get some real tricky. I always say tricky because the off-camber corners are so much trickier than just a flat corner. You got a lot more berms developing. There's only one line right now, but by racing, there'll be other lines. You'll be able to go clear down to the left as you're looking into this corner right here. And that takes you up to the checkered flag for your Sorby Suzuki Fast Lap.
All right, thank you, David, and thank you, Andrew Short. If we take a look at the recap from Moto number 1, it was James Stewart's 18th straight Moto win. And the current standings, Grant Langston by only 3 points ahead of his main competition, Ryan Hughes. I'll tell you what, as we look at the Suzuki starting grid, all pressure has got to be on Grant Langston at this point. David, you've been in this part of your career. Would you rather be the chaser or the pursuee?
Well, it's kind of nice to be the guy out there with the lead and, forcing the other guy to have to come up with the goods. And, it's pressure either way. You might as well be the guy leading it.
Well, this is Moto number 2 from Steel City Raceway. Keep your eye on 111, Grant Langston, 105, Ryan Hughes. They are in the battle for the championship. Clean start for everyone. I know the folks at KTM are looking to both those guys get out in front, but right now it will not be the case. It'll be 259, James Stewart. This kid is out in front, and look for him to check out.
He's already checking out. He's wheelied all the way up to the first turn on 125 in deep plowed dirt up a hill. And I don't know if that's the fastest bike out there, but it's certainly getting all the power that it has out of it.
Well, everyone may not know his first name, but Bubba can ride a bike. James Bubba Stewart, your leader. Right behind him, the man who got the whole shot in the first moto. That's Craig Anderson on board the Yamaha. And now we're looking for 111 and 105, the main players in the championship. There's Grant Langston, currently sitting in 14th place. Now we've got to track down to try to find Ryan Hughes. Langston, though, will just get out there and ride. And there's Hughes right by him.
You can see Hughes looked like his front end started to wash out. He just went with it and it turned into a block pass. He picked up a couple of places, and Grant going all the way around the outside. It's faster out there. Usually when you go wide, it's slower, but you're jumping those doubles from the outside. It takes a faster pace. Put him on the inside going to that next corner and picked up another position. So he passed a big clump of riders right there. And down the stretch, you look at all these moves, good or bad, as the ones that affect the outcome of the championship. And right now, Grant he's got things working his way. He's doing what it takes.
Grant Langston picked up several positions right there, blowing past former KTM rider Steve Boniface as he looks around trying to find his spot. He's currently sitting in 7th place right now, but here comes Hughes.
Well, he's passed Hughes in that opening lap and a bunch of other riders, so his first motos of the past 3 rounds where he's had to come from so far behind have really paid off right here because he's able to get around all these riders a little bit quicker than Rhino. As long as he stays ahead of Rhino, who's right behind him, then the championship is still safe.
Ivan Tedesco just ahead of Grant Langston, number 52, on board the Yamaha. Your leader, James Stewart. Craig Anderson sits in 2nd, and Ryan Mills in 3rd, but the eyes of everyone right now are on the KTM.
I look at Grant just deciding, Tedesco's going to take that line. Okay, I'll go wide again. This is the line that paid off for him on the last lap of the first moto. He picked up one more position, one more point on Richie Owens. Caught him sleeping a little bit. And Tedesco right here, he sort of glanced just enough to his left to go, he's coming from the outside. Let me make sure I block him. So he's forcing Tedesco to have to ride a little bit more defensive. And if you can get a guy doing that, he's not going to pull away from you, first of all, and he's somewhere along the line going to get so nervous to create an opening for you.
This is the battle for 6th. Number 52 is Ivan Tedesco on board the Yamaha. Grant Langston comes in there hot. High risk, high reward move. Can't get the job done. Right behind him is Ryan Hughes, number 105 on the KTM. They are 1 and 2 in the overall point standings, and this time he gets it done. Grant Langston blows to the outside and gets past Tedesco.
This is all championship stuff right now, and it's important for Grant to ride like this and to send a message to Ryan Hughes saying, yeah, you've been gaining points on me, but now that it really matters, now that it's on the line, I ain't gonna let you have it. He's giving him that kind of example right now.
Back to the front of the pack, this is Ryan Mills on the inside. He gets a nice inside pass on Craig Anderson. So Mills goes into second place, Anderson to third, and James Bubba Stewart continues to lead. Ryan Mills, that was a beautiful pass.
He's got the hat on sideways. He's styling. That's his best moto placing since Southwick. He was running up front for a little while. I forget how he ended up, maybe fourth. And here, putting together a solid ride. He's got a long ways to go, but pretty good so far. Nice way to close out the season for Ryan Mills. He's gotten better and better, got a lot of experience indoors, getting a lot more outdoors. Finish off like this and do a lot for his confidence heading into next year.
Battle for third now. Craig Anderson just lost second place. Looks like he may be giving up third. Brock Sellards, number 18, on board the Yamaha, trying to get onto that podium position. So Mills sits in second behind James Bubba Stewart, and then the battle for third between Craig Anderson and Brock Sellards. Meanwhile, Ryan Hughes, number 105, got past Ivan Tedesco. Again, he is behind the man he is chasing for the overall title, and that is Grant Langston, number 111, who's trying to get around Kelly Smith. This is the battle for fifth, and he makes that one easy.
Wow, that was a tight squeeze. He's so aggressive right now. Feeling it. He's taking little bitty risks right there. I mean, it wouldn't have taken too much for Kelly Smith to just decide, you know what, I don't want to let you have it that easy. Could have thought it was somebody else, you know, maybe it was Rodriguez or Ryan Hughes, but he got the job done, and Rhino has been matching him move for move.
Jeff Emig might have well been remembered as the man that broke the streak, if not for success following that amazing performance that stopped Jeremy McGrath from having the perfect Supercross season in 1996. However, what Emig did after that was about as equally impressive when he won 4 consecutive titles in a span of 1 year. Jeff Pro, as his fans love to call him, won the 1996 250 Outdoor Championship, 1996 World Supercross, 1997 AMA Supercross, and the 1997 250 Outdoor National titles in a row. In that time frame, he consistently dominated the world's best riders. And speaking of beating the world's best, Emig was a U.S. Nations member from 1992 to 97, winning the gold 3 times during that span. Jeff started his winning ways back in 1992 when he edged out Mike LaRocco for his first title, the AMA 125 National Motocross Championship. Emig's career spanned 12 years and ended shortly after winning the 1999 U.S. Open of Supercross. Emig ranks 8th all-time on the wins list, with 37 career victories. Jeff is still very active in the sport and spends a lot of time on the track competing at a place he loved as a kid, the Loretta Lynn's Amateur National Championship. Jeff just recently got married, and when he is away from his bike, he hangs out in California with his wife, Jennifer. Emig rides a Cowie, 259 James Bubba Stewart rides a Cowie. It's the invasion of the Green Machines, David.
Yep, Jay Bone, Jeremy Albrecht, the same mechanic for Stewart. Wrench for Jeff Emig when he came in here and wrapped up the title.
Ivan Tedesco, the Boost Mobile Yamaha rider down, had a great scrimmage going with Ryan Hughes and Grant Langston. Let's see what happened.
I didn't say anything this week. I didn't jinx him. I didn't do anything. His foot slipped off the peg. Oh, you know, he has weird things happen to him like that. I talked earlier in the season about how something always crazy is going on around Boniface, and Tedesco's having that same kind of season. As a matter of fact, in Atlanta, Supercross, those guys got together, and it was ugly.
This is Grant Langston, number 111, gets the pass on 109, Craig Anderson. Anderson was sitting in second place, but he has fallen on hard times as Grant Langston is just getting after it. He is riding so fast right now, and now he's got a buffer between himself and Ryan Hughes.
Well, this is the way that Grant typically rides, but, you know, he's had a little bit of tension, a little with the nerves, trying to play it smart a little bit, getting bad starts, getting knocked down the first lap. And, you know, now we're seeing what he can do with fairly smooth sailing. Not the greatest start, not a start like Stewart got, but now we're seeing the aggressiveness that's been missing because he's been buried so far back in the pack lately.
The battle for second now. Brock Sellards on the left of your screen, number 18 on board the Yamaha. Ryan Mills getting past. Mills goes to the inside. A great move right there, but does he have the juice? Not this time. Brock Sellards moves into second. Ryan Mills sits in third.
Well, Brock did an excellent job of coming down to that right-hander back there a little harder. Took a big chance of going into that corner maybe a little bit harder than he could. This is the one. He slides a little farther off the jump. Then he gives a little bit extra power right here. Just one more little blip just to make sure he's clear. And then Ryan's like, well, nothing I can do about that, but he tries to square it off. And when he got back to that next left, he squared it again just to kind of check Sellards up on that pass.
Well, this is the battle, Langston and Hughes. Can Hughes get the job done? For more on that, let's check in with Robbie Floyd.
All right, one question. Can you catch Grant with only a couple laps left?
Let's hope so. That's what we want to do.
Jonathan Quinn, a man of few words, and right now the pressure is on, and look at this.
Yeah, I'm talking about how impressive we both have of Langston's aggressiveness, the intensity he's bringing to this race. Tedesco down again with Hepler this time. So Tedesco, he just needs to go home. Just stay in bed. The year is just gone terrible for him. And it continues here at Delmont. And look at Langston go, man. Just picking up spots, but everywhere he's going to pick up the spot or find a quicker line or step the pace up, Ryan Hughes is there to answer all of it. Next on the list for Rhino is to get by Sellards. It wasn't easy for Langston. He really had to push it hard into that corner with slick, put him into that deep berm, got to get that foot nice and high so he doesn't shove it in the ground. And had him to the inside in the next corner. Now Hughes is going to work. You better get him too because it's 2 more points.
Look at that. When we come back, the finale of the 125, it's Stewart, Langston, and Hughes. The AMA U.S. Motocross Championships have been brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. By Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. Welcome back to the conclusion of the 125. This is Moto number 2 from Steel City Raceway in Delmont, Pennsylvania. Todd Harris along with the champ, David Bailey. Speaking of the champ, this kid has been on fire. He may not win the title this year, but he is winning the hearts of the fans. And let's go back in the time machine to 1992, Loretta Lynn's. Who is that kid with style, David?
Yes, sir. Doesn't look all that excited. He probably didn't win by enough.
James Bubba Stewart's career started a long time ago, and since then it's been all winning. 11 amateur national championships. Is there anything this kid can't do? He is phenomenal. James Bubba Stewart picks up yet another victory here at Delmont. So the battle for third goes on, and that is Ryan Hughes coming down hard, losing the number plate.
Well, he finally got past Sellards, but it ain't pretty. I mean, it ain't close to pretty.
Sellards on the inside, he's got the line.
I don't think Ryan's gonna let him have that line. Oh, he already went down. That's the deal. And the front number plate's hanging on. He's all covered with dirt across his back. So Ryan's going down in flames. There's no question in my mind that he took a big chance there, trying to make up some points or trying to pass Grant.
Well, he's got stuff hanging all off his bike. He's missing a number plate, comes through, goggles are already off. And he was mad in the first moto. I can't imagine what it could be like in this second moto.
I don't think this guy really likes Delmont, you know? Back when he lost the championship, he pushed his bike up that hill and was a lot more tired than he is right there. This time, he crashes out. A couple years ago on the 450, he crashed, making a comeback race, and that's when he decided, you know what, I have to retire now. It's too many shots to the head. This place has not been nice to him.
Well, there are your Honda official results. James Stewart is your winner. He's with Robbie Floyd.
Congratulations, James Bubba Stewart, the 125 win here at Steel City. Man, you make it look so easy out there.
No, it's definitely not, but, you know, just got a great start, pulled the whole shot. I'm telling you, man, my 2-stroke Kawasaki is working awesome. You know, I don't know why everybody's going to this 4-stroke, but we'll see it on the tape. I got the whole shot right now, and I felt good out there. I just rode my own race and pulled out. I didn't think I'd get that big a lead today, but, it shows what just keep on trying, what happens.
J-Bone says you're going for a full minute. You only have Troy to do it. But what about the national championship? You made up some more points, but can you still do it? Are your fingers crossed for that final event?
Nah, I just let the best man win. Hopefully Rhino will win. And, I wish the both of them luck and everything. And, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen at Troy, but who knows, Who knows with me and stuff. So I'm going to try. Hopefully, I'm just hoping to win out there. So it should be great.
Congratulations, James Bubba Stewart, 7 out of 7 for 2003.
James Stewart, always entertaining as we take a look at our Honda official results. James Stewart, Ryan Hughes, Craig Anderson, Grant Langston, and Michael Byrne, your top 5 overall. What a great day of racing for everyone involved. KTM Kawasaki. Right now, let's send it down to Robbie Floyd.
Well, Brock, congratulations. Just when things weren't going your way, they did go your way, and you were able to get by Rhino there on the last lap.
Yeah, I had a tough day with my bike break in first moto, and I didn't have the great escape pick, but I got my bike off to a great start. I wasn't so confident on that start, but I pulled through, and, I got up here on the podium.
Congratulations on another podium.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Well, 5th in the second moto, 3rd overall for the day. Not too shabby.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to get a podium again. It's been a long time coming since Southwick. I haven't done really good since then. So this is, to pick my confidence back up, and hopefully I can just go on to Troy next week and do just as good.
Ryan, I know you're disappointed. I know how much this national championship means to you. Was this a case of trying too hard, or just conditions didn't suit you that last lap?
Yeah, I wasn't trying that hard. I was just, if I got close to him, I was going to try real hard, but I was just trying to be smooth, because I knew 2 points was better than, what I did, but it just, I don't know, one of those things just came up to face. I think I hit a bump and thing just slid sideways going up it and went over the bars. It happened so quick. I thought I had it, but it just kept going over and big endo.
When you broke your leg in the first year, if somebody would have told you, hey, you're only going to be a few points coming to this last race, you couldn't really ask for much more, knowing that Troy's next weekend.
Yeah, that's, I've gained a lot of points. I lost some points today, but that's racing, and I'm trying as hard as I can. That's all I can do is try as hard as I can, and it's the way it goes.
One race left at Troy, 7 points ahead. Could you ask for any more, other than already clinched it today?
Well, it's one of those things. What happens, happens. 2 years ago I lost it here, and it was just one of the things out of my control when the rear wheel broke. But right now it's pretty close, and for me it's nerve-wracking. But I guess from a public's point of view, it's great. But I just hope to stay strong and ride my best, and hopefully take that championship.
Well, dreams do come true for Grant Langston. It's a good news, bad news situation, David. Grant Langston is the 125 outdoor national champion by 7 points because Kenworthy's, quite frankly, is underwater, and the AMA has decided they will not reschedule.
Now, this is a picture from earlier in the season when it was postponed the first time, but it's worse now. There can no longer be an event there, and it's a weird ending to a wild season, but they all had their chances. We wouldn't be talking about Grant and Rhino's chances if it hadn't been for James Stewart getting hurt in Las Vegas. I think we all know what would have happened if he would have ridden all the races.
So on behalf of Robbie Floyd and David Bailey, I'm Todd Harris saying so long. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.